Well, good morning, everyone. Jonathan van Clute with Stock Navigators here as usual. And it is Monday, November 5th. And it is the first day with the time change. And I always forget which is which, whether we just went on daylight savings time or just came off daylight savings time. I don't know. I can never keep sense of it. But that is where we're at. That is what's happening this morning. Is just me trying to adjust to being off schedule with my body clock. So hope it's not affecting you too terribly. But for now, please do subscribe and hit that little alarm bell if you'd like to be notified when we're going live in the mornings and afternoons. And give us a comment, say hello in the chat, what have you, and just let us know what you would like to see and what you'd like us to analyze. So with that, let me get started here. Let's see here. Where is my trade station? Is something strange is going on with my trade station? It is not. Did not go full screen the way I thought it did. There we go. That's more like it. All right, fantastic. So let's start out as always with the S&P 500. And Friday was a hugely indecisive day. I mean, we had a nice big range. It was a great intraday day for scalping. But end of the day, I mean, look at that doji. That is ridiculous, just ending exactly where it started off. And even since yesterday, or yesterday afternoon, since the markets opened, we are basically nowhere yet. We've had a little bit of range overnight, but right now, pretty much right back where we started. So it is extremely indecisive right now. Market really doesn't know what it wants to do quite yet. We're also right in the middle of the two major zones here, the buy zone at the bottom and the sell zone at the top. So this is a serious, yeah, in the middle, don't know what we want to do, indecisive moment that we're in. We're also in the middle of the box. So we're just kind of in the middle of everything right now. It's a weird moment for the S&P right this instant on a daily chart. So daily basis, really need to see a takeout of this high here. That's our first indication that something to the upside is brewing. And that's actually not too far from the top of the box either. So I'm basically looking for that whole region to get breached to really show some significant bullish momentum. To the downside, it's kind of the opposite. I'm just looking for a takeout of that low to indicate that there's a decent chance we're going lower. Now, bigger picture, we're looking at, we've got the pattern of, move this, there we go, lower lows and lower highs. So we've got, whoops, I went a little crazy on my drawing there. We've got the lower lows and lower highs happening. So at the moment, if this is able to pull down and say make a higher low there, then pull back, break this high, make a higher high, then we've got a pattern change. And that is the signs of a trend reversal. So that's what I'm watching for. I'm kind of expecting to see a pullback and possibly form a higher low. If that doesn't happen and it takes out this low, well, then things are not good for the market, and it is going to want to continue for at least one more leg down. And now we do have the bottom of the buy zone down here, so I think it's not out of the realm of possibility that we pull back and then maybe come down to test this before we finally form our higher low and continue higher, something like that. Remains to be seen. We'll have to just let it play out and see what happens on a daily basis. But those are the kind of the scenarios I'm looking for, either to the upside or the downside. Navigator, of course, is still very bearish on the daily, but it is trending upwards. We've pulled a bit back from the exhausted levels that we were at with these magenta candles right here at the bottom. So right now there is sort of room to both directions. It's got a bit of room to the downside before it gets really oversold, and it's got, of course, lots of room to the upside. So daily is in a tough spot right now. It's kind of just a wait and see. Now, on the intraday, though, there's generally been a lot of opportunity lately because there's been so much volatility. Now, I find this interesting. A couple of days ago, we had this big down move, and that pushed us below the zero line on the navigator. And then, even though the navigator pushed red, 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 pushed further, 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 price kind of didn't go with it. Price strong is trying to hold up here. So this is very interesting to me to see what's going to happen there. Um, given how strong the price is right now, it just does not want to go down. So that is potentially bullish in nature. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that exactly. But much like on the daily, I'm basically looking for a takeout of the recent low, which also happens to be in this lovely buy zone here. So there's a fair amount of support there, or I'm looking for a takeout of the recent highs here. And that's kind of the two scenarios I'm looking to play out here. Now there is one other thing worth pointing out, which is that on this move here from the bottom of that big downtrend from last week all the way up to here, the retracement on that, the 38.2 is right where it went to and then pulled off. So if this is the beginnings of a trend change and we are going to go bullish from here, this is a very strong sign. The next extension is likely to be a very strong one if it holds from here and we don't break this low. So that's what I'm looking for on the S&P. Those are the levels I'm going to be watching for. Let's take a look at crude. And crude has just continued to march lower. It has punctured this channel that it was stuck in, and right now it's stuck in the buy zone. So, whoops, wrong chart here. Let's go to the right one. So, right this moment, we are right in the middle of the buy zone, and Navigator's very, very red and continuing to trend downwards. So, it looks like there is still some bearish momentum happening on the short term intraday. I mean, you can you can see very easily we are in quite the downtrend. Crude is very, very definitely in a steep, steep downtrend. So it has broken through this short-term buy zone that was down here, but come right back up to test the bottom of it. So far, right this instant, that test is holding. We'll have to see what happens as the day progresses, if that holds or if it creeps back in and maybe get climbs above it. Right now, Navigator is trending higher, and recently, each time it kind of does these little hook up, and then it hooks up, and now it hooks up, and it's really fighting hard to stay bullish. And right now, it's hooked up higher than the last couple of times it did this. So, there's some bullish attempt happening, but it really has to get over this zone, which right now is a sell zone. It's no longer a buy zone; it's now a sell zone, and it's got to climb over that to really show any bullishness. And then, of course, it's got to get over that very steep descending trend line. So a lot of overhead resistance happening in crude, but the first step will be to watch for a break of the box high. And then that will show us that it's able to climb into this sell zone, and we'll have to just watch and see what happens from there. Ultimately, you're looking for on the intraday, on the 60-minute, you're looking for a break of this high here to really indicate a true change of direction. But the first thing is it's got to climb over this high and over this sell zone. Let's take a peek at gold and see what's happened in the metal market. We are on a daily basis still just in this choppy no man's land. This just mess here. We're right in the middle of that, and still just basically going sideways. We are in this rising channel, but not really going anywhere in that channel. Just kind of moving around sideways, holding above the 21 EMA. Navigator is bullish, so the daily basis is bullish, but it's not really trending right now. It's just going sideways. So on an intraday, though, on a 60-minute, we've had quite a few interesting moves, and we did break below this channel. That would be this move right here. But then we shot right back up into it, and that's where we are right now. And right this instant, we are playing with the bottom of that channel. So it has broken down to test the bottom of that channel. Navigator has gone red. So it's definitely a little bit dicey of a situation right now. It's not strongly bullish. The bears are trying to come in, but so far they have not been able to get it below this channel and hold it there. So that is what I'm going to be looking for if I'm watching gold. That's the action I'm going to be watching, is to see that this gets broken to the downside and holds. We did break the box, so there's an initial bearish indication, but so far it has been stopped by this rising channel line. So if the Navigator momentum can continue down, which, I mean, there's a lot of force here, so it certainly could, then we'll see this head lower. At which point I'm going to be watching initially for a test of this very minor area here, and then obviously I'm going to be watching for gold to try to take out this near term low. there. But in order for that to happen, it's got a reasonable distance to fall. To climb higher, of course, to indicate bullishness. Well, we've got to first see, of course, a takeout of the box top, but then ultimately, I'm watching for a takeout of this high here. And if gold can manage to do that, then there is some good bullish momentum coming in. But then, of course, it's got to get up to the top channel line, break that. It's got to break these highs. It's got some climbing to do. So if you are a gold bull, those are the levels that you're probably going to want to be keeping an eye on. And if you're a bear, then you're looking for a breakdown of this channel first. And then there's a fair amount of room for it to go. So if it starts to break to the downside with some conviction, there might be a good short opportunity in there. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, the crypto market, which basically has been going sideways. It didn't really do anything special over the weekend. It's just kind of been going sideways. So right now it is in the box. We did have this big move on wait, was this yesterday? Oh, wait a second. Oh, hold on. Did we get another spike? Oh, we did. Sorry, I thought I was looking at this spike. I wasn't zoomed out far enough. So actually, okay, interesting. We're continuing that pattern of these spikes and then just kind of sideways and then spike and sideways. It keeps happening. That is very interesting. So Bitcoin has actually managed to climb significantly into this sell zone. So there is some short-term intraday strength brewing for sure, but on a daily basis, I mean, still trending slightly down to sideways. You can see that 21 EMA is still just kind of going downwards, downwards and sideways, and it's in this wedge. And the wedge is just getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and something's going to give somewhere in here. So sometime in the next couple of weeks or so, I'm expecting to see something happen, either upside or downside. Downside, of course, as I'm always pointing out, is we're looking for a takeout of that low there, and of course this rising channel. Upside, we're looking for a takeout of this sell zone overhead. That's what's really got to happen. So those are the things that we're watching for. And intraday, the volatility has kind of gotten crushed lately. It's been doing these long, protracted, just sort of nowhere moves to the side. But then there's these huge spikes. So there is definitely opportunity. And right now, it looks like Bitcoin wants to move higher. The strength is higher and continuing higher. I mean, you can see we're definitely in a rising direction here. I mean, if I were to just approximate a rough trend line, something like that, you can see that obviously the short-term intraday trend wants to move higher. So it'd be really interesting to see if something's brewing with Bitcoin before the end of the year. Now let's take a look at Nat Gas, and Nat Gas is sort of the most surprising chart for the day. This is kind of crazy, this move here. Nat Gas has actually jumped the entire sell zone here, just leapfrogged right over it, and then went straight to the next sell zone overhead, and then pulled back off of it. I mean, went right to it. You can see right here, went just barely through it, and then just recoiled. So big move in natural gas. I don't follow natural gas enough to know exactly why that might have been. If there was some gas shortage somewhere or announcement of some kind or who knows what. I don't know what caused that jump, but that is a significant jump. Here's the sell zone from back here. And so it is currently acting as resistance. And right now, natural gas is just sandwiched between these two zones. So, pardon me. You really need to see it pick a lane, pick a direction, and go. Right now, it is holding above the box, which is very bullish, and obviously, a move this big is very bullish as well. But Navigator trending down, and that doesn't bode well. So it'll be interesting to see if it can hold this strength or not. Pardon me again. I should have brought some water in here. So, natural gas. I mean, there aren't sort of like really near-term levels because of this huge gap. I mean, we're looking at the gap area basically with this, which is this prior sell zone, now buy zone. That is our support right now, and our resistance is just right overhead at this sell zone. So, I mean, is it going to just channel along in here for a little while? I don't know. I think it needs to pick a direction, but once it does, I anticipate seeing some momentum come in. And William is telling me in the chat it's the weather. Okay, there you go. See, that's the thing about commodities. They are affected by weather, and you got to follow that kind of stuff. If you track traditional commodities of any of them, really, you got to pay attention to things like weather. So there you go. Weather can certainly affect natural gas routes and natural gas delivery, and obviously natural gas usage is going to be the big one if you've got a cold snap happening somewhere, something like that. So very, very interesting to see what's happening in natural gas. Is this going to be a big selling opportunity? Are the bears going to come in and just start slamming down on natural gas because they just got handed a gift? Or is everybody going to see the weather and the shortage and so forth and just say, oh, better start buying natural gas and push it up strong? I think whichever one it starts to do is probably going to be a significant move, and you're going to want to be in sync with that move. So just be ready for which direction it's going to go. So midweek is supposed to be really cold this week and next. Okay, well, thanks, William, for that insight. That explains that. So anybody who follows natural gas, I'm sure probably is already following that and already knows that. But yeah, really interesting move in natural gas. There's not a whole lot to say about that other than watch for it to break up or down, whichever way it wants to go. But right now, holy cow, is that bullish? And there might be a really nice short-term bullish trade in that. At which point, somewhere along the line, the weather's going to change, and when that does, I could see it reverse rather quickly. So just play carefully in that one. I think that about wraps it up. So, going to be an interesting day to see what happens. Right now, S&P is wanting to creep higher. It's just kind of on this rising trend line here and playing with that level. So, if we can see some strength above the box here, then we might have a bull day forming in the S&P. We'll have to just wait, let the open do its thing, and see what plays out, and then figure out which direction, for me anyway, figure out which direction I'm going to want to be trading today. So, as always, please do subscribe. Please give us a like if you like these videos, you find them useful, and please do comment and let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want more of, what you'd like to see us do differently, any of that good stuff. We'd love to hear from you. We're doing this for you. So, that is all from me for today. I'll be back again at 1 p.m. this afternoon for the close of market review. And I hope your trading goes fantastic. I hope my trading goes fantastic. I'm looking forward to the open in 28 minutes, and we'll see how everything shakes out for the day. All right, everybody. See you this afternoon. Thanks so much for being here, and good trading. Oh, hey, Vu just came into the room. Hi, Vu. A little late to the party this morning. I'm just signing off, but it's fantastic to see you. All right. I hope you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.